Coming up on Mountain News at 6, we talk with Senate President Robert Stivers after two highly debated bills were signed into law today by Governor Andy Beshear.
Plus, we talked to a family in Somerset after they lost their home to a fire and had to evacuate their hotel room due to another blaze.
Plus, we continue to track a severe weather outbreak to our west, and that's heading our way as well. Timing out the latest coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Good evening again. I'm Steve Hensley.
And I'm Olivia Calfee.
Heavy rain and gusty winds possible tonight as thunderstorms move across our region. There is a tornado outbreak underway in some states out west. Governor Andy Beshear has already declared a state of emergency ahead of the threatening weather in Kentucky. Let's head over to First Alert meteorologist Evan Hatter for the very latest. Evan?
Well, that's right, Steve and Olivia. We continue to watch that First Alert weather threat as we head into tonight. Level 3, enhanced risk for severe weather across the far western part of the area. Level 2, slight risk for many of us in the central portion. And then the level 1, marginal risk as we head into the eastern part of the area. Now, the tornado threat for us is low, but not zero. High winds, damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour as a line of storms moves through a little bit later on tonight. No severe weather right now. We just see some showers pushing on through the region. Those are crossing I-75. We'll be crossing the Highway 15 corridor before too long. Right now, watching some areas of clearing, which is not good. That's adding to the potential for severe weather later, and we're already seeing that severe weather out to the west. In fact, I'm going to zoom in on this particular storm west of Memphis. This tornado warning is confirmed on the ground. Just went through the town of Wynne, Arkansas. That's going to move to the north and west of Memphis. Little Rock, they've had a mass casualty incident already when a tornado moved through a little bit earlier on today. So these storms mean business. They're in a much higher risk than we are, but we still have that potential for a few severe thunderstorms later on tonight. Now, guys, I'll have the very latest in a few minutes on when those storms will move into your community. Olivia?
All right, thank you, Evan. The 2023 legislative session has officially come to a close.
And today, two highly debated bills, Senate Bill 47 and House Bill 551, were signed into law by Governor Andy Beshear.
Those make medical marijuana and sports betting both legal in the state of Kentucky. Earlier today, I spoke with Senate President Robert Stivers about his overall thoughts on the session. Senate President Robert Stivers says he believes the 2023 legislative session went well.
And I think the session as a whole was very productive. A lot of big issues that people did not expect to get through,
including two bills that Governor Andy Beshear signed on Friday morning, one being Senate Bill 47 legalizing medical marijuana. Stivers voted against it.
I'm neither really for it or against it because I think there should have been more testing, and I think the federal government should have stepped in to have a consistent pattern of how you deal with basically what's THC.
But also says he is sympathetic to people who will benefit from it.
I'm satisfied with the result. There was support for the issue and the way we dealt with the issue in our caucus. Even people, and I don't want to say were against it. They just weren't in a position to support it.
But Stivers did support House Bill 551, saying he believes sports betting is inevitable.
Sports betting is taking place. It depends on how it takes place. Through electronics today are going to wager in sports no matter where you are. And so why not control it? Why not make it something that is not in the darker realms of our society and that you get some benefit from it?
Governor Beshear also signed House Bill 5 today. It gives a tax break to the bourbon industry. Changes made to the final version gradually lowers the property tax for distilleries from 2026 to 2043. That is 4 years longer than the original bill.
Many people thought the sports betting bill would never make it out of the Senate, but last night it passed in a 25-12 vote. This morning, Governor Beshear signed it into law and it will take effect in June. However, It could be longer before sports betting actually begins legally in the Commonwealth. Once House Bill 551 goes into effect, the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission has 6 months to set up a sports wagering system in the state. Horse racing tracks will be able to operate as sports betting facilities, but they must pay a fee. Bets will be allowed in person and online, meaning Kentuckians will no longer have to cross state lines to place their bets.
This is just one more form of entertainment to help get people in here. And, 6 of our 7 border states have passed similar legislation in recent years. So just kind of a no-brainer for us.
Cox says more than 1.2 million attempts were made in the Commonwealth to place bets on sporting events since March 1st. He adds passing House Bill 551 will make Kentucky more competitive.
For some advocates, it has been nearly 10 years since they started working towards legalizing medical cannabis. With the signing of House Bill 47, medical marijuana use and sales will be legal in the state starting in 2025. But what exactly does that mean for Kentuckians? The Cabinet of Health and Family Services will have to decide specific fees for license and specific regulations for dosages, among other rules. And before you go to a dispensary, you will have to get a referral or prescription from a licensed doctor. One supporter says he is happy with the bill's progress, but there is still work to be done.
There's more work to be done all over the bill. So, yes, we're going to have more sessions to work on the bill.
Sponsor of the bill, Senator Stephen Wise, says other states with bills like this have seen a 20 to 30% reduction in opioid use and drug addiction. We have an update to a story we first told you about yesterday.
Students in Martin County are demanding change after a bullying incident came to light. Following a protest that continued today, Superintendent Larry James issued the following statement, quote, "In response to the bullying accusation at Martin County High School, the incident has been reported and is currently under investigation by school administration. The Martin County School District has a zero-tolerance policy on bullying, which includes anti-bullying and sensitivity programs. We strive to provide a safe learning environment for all of our students," end quote. We'll, of course, continue to follow the story and update you if there are new developments. Earlier this week, we told you about a fire at the Best Western Hotel in Somerset. It happened at the hotel on Highway 27. Fire officials say the fire started in the hotel's attic, grew fast, and caused significant damage. They say everyone made it out safe, including one family who happened to be staying at the hotel because of a fire that happened at their own house just weeks before. Mariah Conjado has that story.
It's somebody's worst nightmare.
My ultimate fear has always been that I will lose stability for my children, and I feel like I have.
And it happened twice to one family in a matter of weeks.
Here we go again. Let's make some phone calls and try to figure out if we can't get the kids some clothes and some shoes so that they can go to school tomorrow.
Caitlin Estes, her boyfriend, and her 2 children are now homeless. Their house caught on fire earlier this month and they lost everything. She says luckily they weren't home at the time. Only part of the house is still standing, and what was inside looks like this, a pile of ashes.
It was the house that I brought both of my kids home to. They were both born into that house. When it comes to like their baby books and stuff, that was pretty much what I was most distraught about.
Estes says the first hotel they stayed at after the fire was too small for the family. So they were looking forward to what they thought would be a comfortable stay at the Best Western Hotel in Somerset.
We had just gotten enough stuff to where the kids had an outfit for every day of the week, so I could send them to school every day of the week.
After just a few days there, the hotel went up in flames. This is video sent to us from that day. Estes says they weren't there when it happened, but when they pulled up,
and all of a sudden, we seen the 4th floor collapse into the 3rd, and the 3rd collapse into the 2nd.
The Somerset Fire Department says because of where the fire was, the sprinkler system didn't activate automatically. All available off-duty firefighters and available county departments were called to help.
And now we're having to start over again.
Estes says they lost money that was donated to them after their house fire. She says they were saving it so they can get back on their feet.
It was in that hotel room So now we have to figure out how we're going to get rent and deposit again.
After more than 9 hours, fire crews left the scene, and so did Estes and her family, who are now at a third hotel.
I'm just trying to stay focused and stay positive.
Mariah Conjito, WKYT.
The Somerset Fire Chief says the hotel fire is still under investigation. The Best Western Somerset's website says they are temporarily closed, of course. We did reach out to headquarters to see if they could give us an answer on when it will reopen, but we have not heard back yet.
Community members continue to mourn the loss of a former Hazard police officer, school resource officer, business owner, and friend. Charles Brotherton died on March 19th, leaving behind a strong legacy in the city. Hazard High School principal and City of Hazard Mayor Happy Mobilini reflects on how much of an impact he had.
Charles just had a knack of making people feel good. I mean, when he was around you, I never heard anything negative come out of his mouth. You know, he never complained about anything that anybody was doing in town.
Mobilini says Brotherton was the first school resource officer at Hazard High School and that he will be greatly missed. Coming up at 11, we will hear from his wife about how she is trying to carry on his legacy.